Clinton Roberts there. He's got his own webpage now.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
It's clintonrobertsart.com.
Primarily Critical. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical of Movies at an After Party. This would be it.
If you have not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before listening any further.
Because we got spoilers, trivia, and opinions like crazy, and we cannot wait to share them.
Good, bad, new, old, weird, or gross.
We will pass judgment on them all.
Today. Looks like Abel had some help with his cane problem. My name is Steve, and I'm here with
Phil.
John.
Did you get the reference?
No, I missed. I'm trying to put it together now.
It's okay.
Processing.
The big bad guy.
Brothers.
The big bad guy. The dictator had a good brother. Bad brother. Yeah.
Cain and Abel.
Yeah. I knew it was a stretch. But especially because I have very few Bible references in my repertoire.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
Man,
I'm trying to forget my Bible references, so that's my problem.
Yeah. My backstory about
probably
church
for the best.
I don't know how we're going off on a tangent already. We're kind of notorious for that now and then, folks. But hey, we'll get back to the movie eventually. But I grew up going to church every Sunday, and man, I don't remember a goddamn thing. my creative brain was just turning, man. I was not paying attention to shit.
No.
I knew the moves, right? I knew the moves. Get up, do this. When this point, this is what we do.
I know. I was always focused on like a particular girl that looked pretty or something, because they always dress up nice or something, going to church, right?
Yeah,
so it's something to look at, and who wants to listen to whatever the hell they're talking about up front? You're a kid, right? So the pretty girls are much more exciting.
Much more exciting.
Man, have you ever attended we shouldn't even get into this, but a Catholic
okay.
service?
All right. Gentlemen.
Yeah, we're talking about a movie here.
6 Underground. Is about 7 guys. Immediate problem.
Yeah.
There's a woman in there.
There's two girls. And they've I don't know, realistic superheroes, so to speak. I guess I don't know. Is that a kind of what they're going for? Yeah.
They have no powers, so I wouldn't call them superheroes, because there's superheroes to me implies that they have a power, right?
There was that building jumper guy.
But he's like a parkour kind of guy, right?
That was a ridiculous guy. I didn't make notes for this movie because it's pretty I don't know. It's not a big thinker movie. So
he almost died like twice.
Oh.
There was one time where he was getting the crap beat out of him, and then the sniper man saved his butt, and then he was on the boat getting the crap beat out of him. and the building
one saved him that time.
Yeah.
Oh, let's point to the guy. He's on this guy. That's the parkour guy.
Oh yeah.
Parkour guy there. Yeah.
Hey,
Skywalker.
Free runner. Skywalker. That's right.
Yeah.
He seemed to be risking a lot more than the rest of them. Like everybody's had a pretty chill job comparably. That guy was like hanging off buildings, fighting guys. It was like he was working really hard. I don't think he's got a square deal there with the Underground crew.
No. You have to be in peak shape to be his job. The driver's a lot easier. You could be fat and be a driver.
Well, look what happened to the driver in the first one.
With the driver.
That was a shocking scene. I
did not expect that.
Well, it sets a tone for like, oh gosh, any cast member could die any second kind of thing, right? But it was a very violent movie, wasn't it? Like,
I gotta put something out here about this movie. Did you guys, from the onset of this movie, did you understand? Like, was there a moment where you thought they were actually dead, not just dead on paper?
No.
Oh, another cerebral level, like the Matrix. They're in the Matrix.
Well, I didn't know. So it was just me. I was confused that because he starts this narration. This is the day I died, and blah blah blah. And so you're thinking, oh, this is a movie about people that are dead. Like I thought they were actually dead, And it
okay.
took me a while to put together. put it together that they're just dead on paper. They're not really dead. But there was a part of there where I was a little confused about that. So that was just me. That didn't happen to you guys.
That didn't happen to me. I can see where you came coming from.
That would make the movie a lot more interesting. This movie to me was, I expected it to be a big dumb movie because Michael Bay directed it.
You know what?
That's all you have to say.
I don't like Michael Bay very much. He's very over the top. He's very in your face. I felt he handled the Transformers movie badly, and that is a big strike. You don't mess with my Transformers. But
mess with the Transformers, man.
But I mean, he's done interesting flicks. I mean, there was what other movies has he done?
Con Air was that his.
Con Air was a pretty good movie.
No, not Face Off. That's John Woo, I think.
Yeah. John, are you familiar with Michael Bay?
I am not familiar with him at all. And typically, this is the kind of movie I on my own time would completely avoid. I'm thinking that he probably does movies that I would typically avoid. So that would explain why, probably.
Yeah, big explosions, like super sexy bait.
Yes.
See,
this is to me. It's the opposite. Sorry, Phil, you got something to say.
Oh no, I'll add to this. If it didn't have Ryan Reynolds, I probably wouldn't even check it out because I would think it's just amongst all the dumb 80s, 90s action movies that came out. I mean, it's got some big money behind it, right? The budget's 150 mil, and it's just
huge effects.
Michael Bay is like known for doing this. He gives you a big popcorn movie, which leads me to my kind of controversial thing. We know we have a big COVID pandemic going on, and movies, you can't go see a movie, at least not in our neck of the woods. And now movies like this get straight released to the Netflix and what have you. And it's taken away the fun of going to the theater with the big pop. This is the kind of movie you want to see on the big screen, right?
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that for sure. This movie was schlock, like really, really expensive schlock. And I would have loved it. I still, if I'm in a specific mood, I still dig it very much so.
But here's the big question.
But I mean, you mentioned Ryan Reynolds, right? I think Ryan Reynolds shines most when he does what you don't expect. You know what I mean? I mean, he was there to do exactly what he did, and for me, that was like, it didn't taste. It didn't taste right.
I feel like Ryan Reynolds is getting into that zone where he's playing the same guy in every movie a little bit too much, and you can't like not. It just will happen, right? Like. It's like The Rock, The Rock has to keep, or Liam Neeson has to keep doing the same kind of movie.
Taken.
I don't know. I think Ryan Reynolds is a lot of fun to watch, and this is kind of just par for the course kind of movies. So I just worry.
Let's just talk about the storyline here for a bit, because this is the thing that bugs me about this is that you spend $150 million with all these amazing effects and all this. It's awesome. I mean, it's stunning. Yeah. JPMs left, right, and jolts per minute, just nonstop adrenaline rush.
It felt like a video game, right?
Yeah, and so but why can they not integrate a good story into this? This story was so weak and so stupid. We know nothing about these characters, really minimal about any one of them, and it's really just we're a bunch of cool superheroes. Let's go get the bad guy, and they went and got the bad guy.
Yeah, and they're all they go about
their. The story is pathetic. It's awful. It was, and so $150 million, and you can't get someone to write a decent script to go along with all that awesome effects. I don't understand it. This has always been my gripe about these things. It's one or the other. You either have a really good story or you have a ton of effects just to hide the fact that you don't have a good story. Stupid.
It's what it is too.
Well said.
It's I think I was alluding to earlier, like the process of releasing movies now. Netflix just goes out there and makes a movie, throws a bunch of money at, let's get Ryan Reynolds and pick Michael Bay. Here's a bunch of money, make a movie. And this is what you get sometimes. You just get this big explosion of a movie.
I've heard too many good things about Netflix to start poo-pooing them.
Oh, it's not always the case. But if you're gonna make 100 different movies, not all of them are gonna be great slices of cinema. They're just they are what they're built to be, right? They're like, well, this is what we want from you. This is what we expect, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna blow up, and people are gonna die like a Grand Theft Auto video game or something.
Let's be honest, though. I mean, as much as I can criticize that, these movies typically, historically, do really well in the box office. I mean, these things, they come out, they've, there's been so many movies with a huge amount of effects, horrible story that just go crazy. People just eat that crap up. They want to see it again and again, and so, what do I know? I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but whatever.
I hear you. This was just a big, dumb, R-rated, silly movie in my mind. And if the fact that I had to go to the theater to see this, I would have felt really ripped off. But because it's Netflix and I'm paying for it already, I just have fun with it, right? But you know what? I pause this movie. I'm not totally engaged. It's like background noise after a while. It's just there, and you're on your phone. This happens a lot. You're like half. Like,
you're supposed to be paying attention.
It's stupid, and it's amazing how like a movie that we probably reviewed, movies like Die Hard, or that's a classic action movie in my mind, or Road Warrior. Those are awesome action movies, but this one is like so cookie cutter and stylish, and they're over cocky people that just they're not going to die. That's why it was a little shocking with one of the guys getting axed. But the rest of the time, you don't fear for their lives. So
Okay, so there's a moment in the movie where we start the film where he's in his plane, right? He's up there, and then there's like a flashback to 3 weeks before, and then they go through the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they start building on those things, and then eventually somewhere in the middle of the movie he says, okay, now you're all caught up. And it was a little confusing. I found it confusing, flipping back and forth, but they weren't done flashing back even after he said you're all caught up. They kept flashing back to him being super young.
And did they not also go to present day before they said you're all caught up?
Yeah.
I felt like they had gone to present day, and then they did go back again, and then he says, now you're all caught up. You're right. The time was all over the place.
It was all over the place. Crazy.
I by and large, not a lot of movies pull it off well. Time skips and time jumps in movies bug me, man. Like, you're trying to make you seem like you're so smart, like doing this just,
Well, there's a movie. We do these things. We do these movie reviews in groups of 3, and this set was 6 Underground, and then there was The Midnight Sky, and the last one, Peanut Butter Falcon. That's right. And I had been waiting to see 6 Underground for quite some time, and I'd never heard of the other 2 movies. So I assumed that my pick was going to be the cream of the crop. Boy, was I wrong. Wow. The other 2 movies blew it away. And The Midnight Sky, to my point, The Midnight Sky did really clean flashbacks.
Well, we'll get into that when we get into it, right?
We'll get into it. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, some movies do a much better job of keeping the timeline and understanding when, there's ways of doing it where they often a classic one is doing black and white, or just changing the color hue even, like just so that that, this is in the past and this is the present, stuff like that. This was really kind of a bit of a mess.
I'll go you one further. I love it actually when movies are like one of my all-time favorite action movies, Indiana Jones. And all of them are great. But Indiana Jones movies, they always hopped and showed you on a map. We're gonna leave now. We're going over to Germany.
The flame.
And the little red line.
They gave you the date and everything. It's like we're on. I got it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like
for us.
But there's movies that really just ruins the movies. It jumps all around so much. It's like. Why are you
Like
confused?
this once again, it goes back to the logistics of the actual story. It's really wasn't done well. I mean, it's just you got a bunch of crap hidden by this amazing effect. I mean, the effects in here, let's say something about that. They were amazing. It was amazing effects.
Even just the opening scene.
It's becoming
unbelievable.
They're able to do things now in action movies and with effects that are super dangerous for stunt people, right? So now they can get away with Grand Theft Auto level carnage, like literally running people over. That opening whole 20 minutes was crazy.
That motorcycle when they hit that pole, I mean, oh my God, that looked like a body being just busted up against the pole. I mean, it was unbelievable, unbelievable, right?
40 years ago, you knew it was a dummy getting, in the car was just a dummy.
That's right. Yeah.
Nowadays it looks super real. Yeah.
It's
real.
like,
I mean, the effects are amazing. They were absolutely amazing, and got to give them props. They did that right.
The violence was unrelenting. It just kept coming. Yeah. It's like,
did you guys find it was like Quentin Tarantino-esque? Some of the stuff, even with the splashing of the numbers of like the number one, and all the driver, right? And
it was all stylistic kind of silliness. Yeah. But I have to give props to that scene where they're at that glass apartment where it's all with water and the holy crap, man! That scene alone probably cost more than like 100 different movies, combined.
Yeah. Probably 1,000 independent movies could have been made on that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's awesome looking, right? It felt like a big video game movie come to life, but not a great one. Like, I've played better video games with more compelling storylines, with more character development.
Okay, who's your favorite character?
They're all the same to me.
They're all the same.
They're all because I know nothing about any one of them. I mean, what power do I love the most? I like the Skywalker. I think that's cool to be able to jump the buildings and whatever. But I know nothing about these people. So I mean,
the parkour guy, right? That's the term.
Yeah, the parkour guy. I mean, that looks fun.
He'd be a fun guy to hang out with, that guy. But he'd probably die on you out of nowhere because he's doing crazy extreme shit all the time. And you'd find out the next day, oh, did you know he died yesterday? And be like,
he was base jumping without a parachute.
Yeah, you know that guy. Don't depend on him to be at your party because he probably.
So Steve, I think you have a favorite guy. You wouldn't have asked this question if you didn't have one. So,
I mean, I think we're supposed to like the sniper guy because he's the one with the moral compass. I was definitely. I was enthralled with the female characters, and only because I don't know the Doctor very well, I really like the CIA spook.
Oh yeah,
number 2.
She had some interesting stuff, but what bugged me as I reflect on this movie is the romantic interplay between the two characters there, always bickering.
The hitman and the hitman
there. Spook, yeah.
It's dumb. Like, nobody took it seriously. Like, it's just a big video game happening.
Okay, if I didn't have 2 excellent movies to immediately compare.
Hey, Steve, it's not your fault, man.
No, I think I might have been able to enjoy this movie, turn off my brain.
That's the way you have to do it.
Yeah.
And let's face it. People are going to listen to this podcast. They're probably going to listen to it because they enjoyed the movie. So what can we say about this movie? We know the effects are great. What else, though? I mean,
it's always fun watching Ryan Reynolds. He's a fun. He feels fun. He feels like Deadpool in every movie now. Kind of. He's always got to narrate his own movies too. He knows that too. Like, he's always got flashback, fourth wall breaker. I'm talking about myself.
I think they hired Ryan Reynolds to do exactly what Ryan Reynolds did, and I'm sure I'm not going to fault him for it. I'm not going to fault him.
Well to do it. Good on you, Ryan.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that actually ends up being his name is one as far as the viewer is concerned. We don't know his name.
You don't.
We end up getting the names of all the other ones, but him.
That's right, and he kind of plays himself to be the bumbling fool, but every once in a while he finds himself in trouble. And he breaks out the kung fu, And the sniper dude, or shall we say Seven, notices this, and there's supposed to be sequels. That was the whole idea.
Oh, no doubt.
Because right at the beginning they say we have 9 targets. This is number 1, and they start the mission, and then at the end of the movie they've finished their 1, and now they have 8 more.
Now, is that going to come to fruition? That's the big question here. Is this enough of a launch to justify sequels?
I think
you never really know. You think so, Steve? Because Netflix never really divulges that kind of information, right? They just
they don't. But they're also not shy with their money. I mean,
but they're not shy to say when something is a hit, right? They kind of like love the fact that they're getting Oscar nominations and things like that. I'm sure there'll be.
I understand it. Netflix, whenever they shake hands, once they make the commitment, they're all in, and they just keep throwing money.
Yeah, they're a good backer. They've got the money. They're not afraid. They're not timid.
Yeah,
well, they'll see it through.
But man, it's a competitive business now. Amazon
it is.
Disney Plus is right on the doorstep, doing some good stuff, and
Disney's there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I'm biased. I'm always going to knock this type of movie. There's people, I know people love these movies. There's people out there that just love this stuff. They don't need a good storyline. They don't need good characters. They just need jolts per minute. They need to see, excellent effects and just nonstop action. And that to them is an awesome movie. I've had friends like this, and I know they're out there, and I'm sure they're probably more of them than there are people like me that like these independent, So yeah, I'm sure it'll do grand.
It's a Michael Bay movie, and that's all I really have to say. You've seen enough of the Transformer movies, and god damn, man, that they're made for people with attention disorders. Like they're just bang, 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 bang. It's things just blowing up. There's no story. Shia LaBeouf is running around doing something. And he leaves the franchise and then it's throw in Marky Wahlberg. Who cares?
What?
Mark Wahlberg took over. They just a mess. A mess of movies. I don't even know how many of them are, and I couldn't even tell you anything. Like you said, Steve, you kind of upset about the Transformers thing, but there's 10 of them or something, right?
There's quite a few. He delivers. He delivers on what people expect.
He does what he does. We should get into trivia, right?
We should get into trivia. Trivia point number 1. There's a very, very obvious bottle of aviation gin sitting in the bar in the Paris Opera House, a company partially owned by Ryan Reynolds, who plays number 1. Reynolds is well known for his provocative, funny, and shameless advertising. I did know that he owned a gin company.
Okay, so that was probably, you think he said we should put this in this?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
These brought it to work and said, I'm just going to put this right here.
Yeah. He may not even told. He might have just put it there.
He might have just put it there.
The editor's going, how did that bottle get in there?
I can't seem to find a camera angle where it's not.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I love Ryan Reynolds. I don't want to knock on him too hard for this movie.
No, but I like him too. And I like him as a person. I think he's a decent human being as well, from his stuff off screen. So.
Did I ever tell you my Ryan Reynolds story? I might have even said it on this podcast. I saw him in Vancouver one year. This goes back 14 years ago now. Yeah, back in 2003 or something. And he was standing outside of a hotel. I was out there with a band on tour, and he's on his cell phone. I felt like I want to go say hi to him and just say, hey, man, this was right around when he just did the Blade 3 movie.
Oh, yeah.
But he was on the phone, and he looked pissy, upset. And he was like, it wasn't good time to go, hey, Brian. It was just not
having a good day.
I didn't, but
good for you.
I didn't want to be that guy come up when he's having obviously personal matters and be like, can I get your autograph? And he's like, you probably would have fuck off. And he, probably would have had a right to do that. So whatever.
Yeah, what you really want, can I get your autograph? Is that what you'd say to him? Come on.
No, I would just say, hey, Ryan, I'm in town with a band, and maybe I try to plug my whatever and say, hey, and I don't need the autograph. Like,
what? Autographs are stupid. I always thought that, but whatever.
Anyway, I would hope that there'd be something really interesting to talk about when I met my movie crush celebrity.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like hoping that, like, I don't know, something really cool that you can't really get involved with, but you can talk about.
Yeah, it's like a natural thing, like you're going to get vaccinated for COVID, and hey, Ryan,
hey,
mask on.
You get your flu shot.
Right, we're Vax buddies for life now.
Vax buddies for life.
And we should get on with trivia.
Yeah, on with trivia. Next.
All right, next. Who's going next?
I don't care. I'll go. The aerobatic airplane flown at the beginning of this film is an Edge 540, flown by 5-time United States National Aerobatic Championship winner Kirby Chambliss.
That was fun to watch. I mean, that looked like a ton of fun, eh?
Yeah, that should have been on a big screen.
He was like skimming his wheels on the water there.
He actually touched the water.
He actually touched the water, and wow, it looked like fun.
That's a Michael Bay movie. Everybody's so fucking cool in Michael Bay movies. They're all fucking cool.
Okay, I'll take this really long one here. The movie was rumored to be a Thundercats movie.
What the hell?
Yeah, I really wish I hadn't read that, because now I want to see a Thundercats movie.
I could see.
I've never seen a Thundercats movie too, so I
don't remember Thundercats enough, but I could see Ryan Reynolds maybe taking on a role with all prosthetic makeup on and the whole deal. Cats.
Thundercats is Saturday morning cartoon from
late 80s,
a while back, yeah.
80s?
Oh, okay.
80s, late 80s, yeah. The yacht featured goes by the name Kismet. It is associated with the NFL Jacksonville Jaguars owner and billionaire Shahid Khan.
Okay.
I don't know Shahid Khan. I didn't know the Kismet, but that was a cool boat.
That was a very cool boat.
Very cool.
Once again, these movies is all about style. Everything is like sweet cars, sweet guns. Everybody's got the latest everything. Action.
I wonder if they actually did their homework with regard to those crazy magnet shit that they were doing.
Oh,
well,
that was.
I didn't believe that, because there's people that I felt were being thrown right across, like, and how much metal did these people actually have on them in person? Like,
well, in theory, your body has got iron in your blood, so that if you really have enough magnetic power,
no, because then the good guys would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
if it was, in theory, if it was sucking the iron in your blood, it would kill you. It wouldn't make you move. It would suck that through and rip you apart. It wouldn't be,
it's a dumb action movie.
Yeah,
it's a dumbass.
Not believable. Not believable. I don't think they did their homework,
because they went to a lot of trouble to point out that all their guns were made of hardened plastic and non-magnetic steel or whatever.
That was just part of the ruse, so people go, "Oh yeah, that makes sense why they're not being sucked and everyone else is sucked, because they got plastic guns, right?" I mean, they thought this stuff out. That's why they're not the ones being. But it was weak. But whatever. I don't think like I said, the people that watch it, they don't care. They don't care.
To a kid,
cool to watch that.
If the 12-year-old me saw this movie, I would have been blown away, and I might have grown up to say, "Oh, that was a great action movie." But me, the adult, middle-aged dude, I'm like, yeah, I'd rather watch, like 10 peanut butter falcons over this. Could have made 100 peanut butter falcons.
Stay on target, Phil. Stay on target. 6 Underground. Is that the podcast, gentlemen?
I think so. I don't have anything more to say about this one. So
I can't wait to see Deadpool 3, because anything else is like, eh.
If this movie had to come up at a different time, I'm sure I would have enjoyed it more than some of the other movies that I've watched.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
We've had some past like Street Fighter. If this was up against Street Fighter, this would blow Street Fighter away. So I mean,
yeah, we cover a wide gambit.
Yeah.
Hey, if Netflix wants to make these kind of movies, hey man, just keep making them. I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 out of 10 will be good.
That was Six Underground. We are primarily critical, and you are awesome for joining us.
Yes, you are.
Primarylycritical.com. We got a store. We got all our podcasts there ready for you. We got just a ton of stuff. You should check it out.
Yeah. Comment, man. Put comments, we love.
Oh yeah,
love
man.
Comments, like, share. That would really help us out for sure.
Let's talk, man. Let's parlay. Is that the term?
Parlay. Yes.
Sure.
Next
chew the fat. That's what we
next week, Monday at noon. What do we got here? Oh, Peanut Butter Falcon.
Ooh la la.
Who picked that one?
I did.
Oh yes, John. Without any spoilers, why did you pick it?
Okay. Well, you guys recall watching Honey Boy, Sheila Buff, and I really like where there's a lot of controversy around Sheila Buff, and I like that they came out with Honey Boy because it gives some explanation as to all his troubles that he's gone through and
context.
So forth, and it gives some context to why he's kind of fucked up, right? But I like what he's doing with his career now. I think it's awesome. I like that he's gone this independent route and stuff. And so, then I watched. So that's what got me onto this trailer. Watch this trailer. It looked amazing. I thought the trailer looked great. And I'm excited to talk about it. Can't wait.
All right. So John's on a Shia LaBeouf kick.
I am. Yes.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I can't wait to talk about it. See you next Monday at noon. Let's see. It's the 22nd of March. Is there any holidays around there? Should we wish everyone a
happy St. Patrick's? No, I think that's February. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, we'll see you guys in a week. Take care.
Maybe Easter. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.